We're thrilled to have you join us today as we go over what this new program will look like and what it will look like for your organization. Next slide, please. Before we dive into our main content, I'd like to go over a few housekeeping items to ensure you have the best experience possible. We are using Cisco WebEx events for today's session. If you're new to WebEx, here are a few tips to help you navigate the platform smoothly. Please make sure your settings are configured correctly and your audio source can be adjusted by clicking on the drop-down menu at the bottom left of your screen. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat. We encourage you to use the chat to interact with each other. However, if you have any additional questions that may have not been answered during the session, please do submit those in the Q&A panel as our team will collect them and we'll do our best to have them answered and send you the information within the week. And last but not least, this webinar is being recorded and it will be available to all registered participants after the event. So if you miss anything or want to revisit the content, we will send a follow-up email with a link to the recording, additional resources, and a feedback survey. We'd really appreciate your input to help us improve future webinars. Next slide. All right, we have an exciting agenda lined up. We'll hear from Apple first. Then we'll dive into what it means for you and how CDW can support your college or university's current and future initiatives when it comes to your digital workspace experience with Apple. Before I turn it to Apple, I will give you a quick update on CDW Canada. Next slide. So quickly about our public sector team. Matt Edwards is our National Public Sector Lead with over 17 years at CDW serving the public sector in all verticals. Julia Fatt is our National Education Lead with over 8 years with CDW in the public sector. She's also bilingual. Jessica Heim is our Manager of Business Development. This team's mission is to simplify the procurement process for public sector customers through strategic contract awards, such as this one with ISI. Jess's team is responsible for contract management, compliance, and is a subject matter expert on CDW's public sector contracts. They manage the contracts, so myself and Mike can focus on supporting you, our customers. Doug Feetbeek is in a unique to CDW role. He's one of our vertical strategists. He's our education strategist and has come to us in a consultative role and a complementary resource to our customers. And finally, you have your dedicated CDW account team. You have joint coverage on your accounts with both Mike and myself supporting you. I'm Melissa Randa, and I'm the Field Account Executive based in Frederick, New Brunswick, with almost 20 years of experience working with public sector clients. As each region has its own unique needs, I am your local resource working with you to understand your priorities. Mike is an education account manager with over 10 years working with education clients. Between both Mike and myself, we are aligned with the priorities and challenges of education clients within the Atlantic provinces. Next slide. A little bit about the CDW Canada team. Our commitment to Canadian businesses is strong, with unmatched local presence, diverse suppliers, and a dedicated team of 1,200 Canadians. We ensure seamless access to cutting-edge IT solutions. With offices and offerings spanning from coast to coast, we deliver technology solutions wherever you are, ensuring seamless support and services across Canada. Our Canadian head office is in Ontario with 8 physical offices across Canada. In addition to the physical locations, we continue to invest in each geography, including Atlantic Canada. Within the Atlantic region, including myself, there are several members of both the sales and services teams. With a broad and diverse supplier network and a strong commitment to local procurement, we help customers navigate evolving market challenges and with reliable solutions. As a leader in security and services in Canada, we are actively developing and innovating our offering in this space, ensuring compliance with local regulations and providing tailored solutions that address the needs of Canadians. Business strength is made possible due to the hard work and dedication of over 1,200 coworkers from coast to coast. Everything we do revolves around our customers. We are committed to excellence in customer service, with coworkers offering 24/7 support. What this provides for you is local knowledge paired with deep industry experience. Coworkers are empowered to make decisions and provide solutions and services for our customers. We foster an inclusive culture with every coworker having a sense of belonging and community and the opportunity to perform at their full potential. We have global reach with 26 locations serving 150 countries. Our broad Canadian footprint and our competitive global presence provides our customers with infrastructure, resources, and support system to drive business results. Next slide. When major changes like the one we're going through happen, it always takes a village to make it successful and seamless. So now I will talk about some of the key resources supporting this initiative and also the additional CDW offerings that will help you get the most of your investments throughout this journey. Our goal is to help you consolidate as much as possible to enhance your Apple ecosystem. First, and you'll hear from him shortly, but I wanted to drive home how important he is as a resource to this partnership. Brandon is dedicated and exclusive to CDW in the sense that he is not dedicated to any other reseller. His role is vital in ensuring that we have direct access to the latest Apple products, updates, and support. He will be our primary point of contact with all things Apple, focusing on maximizing our partnership and driving growth. Next slide. Next, we have the Apple Partner Product Management team. This team consists of Bruna, Stephanie, and Antonella, who work very closely with Brandon to ensure seamless collaboration and alignment with our goals. Essentially, they are responsible for managing our Apple relationship, whether that's coordinating events and webinars like this one, or sharing product and pricing updates from Apple to the broader teams at CDW, who in turn will communicate those to customers. Next slide. Here, I'd like to talk about a resource that is quite unique to CDW, and that is the education strategist role. Doug Feebig recently joined as an education strategist after spending over 30 years within the K-12 sector in various roles, including IT leadership. Doug is in a prime position to understand the ever-changing needs of educational institutions and collaborating with our internal teams to ensure CDW is bringing forward impactful and relevant solutions to our education customers. Needless to say, his strategic insights and deep knowledge of the education sector will be instrumental in driving our success. Next slide. And last but not least, our Modern Workspace team. This group is led by Brett Harvey, and they are responsible for developing and delivering comprehensive solutions such as device configurations, MDM assessments, migrations, and more. But that's enough from me for now, as you will hear from Brett later, who will do a much better job at explaining his vision and how his team can support our customers. And with that, I'd like to pass it over to Brandon Larry, CDW's dedicated channel manager at Apple. Brandon, over to you.
Thanks, Melissa. Appreciate it. Hope everybody can hear me, and maybe a thumbs up if that sounds good, because I want to make sure that I'm coming through loud and clear. Everybody's good? I'm going to assume the silence is, oh, there we go. See, Brett's got a thumbs up. Doug's got a thumbs up. We're good. Bonjour à tous, and je m'appelle Brandon Larry. I am the channel account executive responsible for the partnership and strategy, the education and commercial relationships between Apple and CDW Canada. Je parle un petit peu de français. C'est tout. I'm not fluent by any means, but I like to at least try, and I'll leave that to Judy and the team. I've got 2 school-aged daughters in the Ontario public school system, and I've been at Apple for more than 17 years. Through my career at Apple, I've always wanted to be part of the education community. And so this is truly a moment. It's very exciting to finally be able to participate fully in my Apple experience, and specifically in this education space. I've got a passion for education and really believe that Apple can elevate the experience and productivity for students and staff, educators, administrators, and researchers in our institutions. Over the past 6 months, Apple has enlisted the support of partners like CDW, who is now a national Apple authorized education reseller, to expand access to Apple technology across this incredible country. And you heard a lot about CDW's national presence, and this really has a lot to do with our alignment with them. The partnership really aligns with Apple's commitment to increasing accessibility to educational opportunities and fostering innovation in the institutions that really make our country so strong. Now, you might be wondering, how was CDW chosen as one of the first partners to help Apple achieve this goal? Transparently, the selection process involved careful evaluation of expertise, experience, and past commitment to providing exceptional support to education customers. CDW's proven track record of delivering high-quality products and services made them an ideal partner for Apple's education initiative. Now, as I'm sure you're aware, we're just 1 week away from the direct purchasing model being sunset. May 1st is that date. And this transition to our partner network will take full effect as of next week. However, it's really important to note this will not change the products and services that you have access to. In fact, part of this transition, we believe that this will open the door to an even more extensive and valuable ecosystem of solutions that only partners like CDW can provide. I personally have been supporting CDW exclusively for more than 8 years and can assure you that we have been building this partnership for this moment. CDW Canada, an Apple authorized reseller for over 20 years, has established a comprehensive Apple practice catering to over 30,000 customers across both the education and the commercial sector. Now, this brand new authorization has given CDW access to the products, resources, and expertise to provide a complete end-to-end Apple education experience. So whether you're looking to purchase VPP credit, enroll devices in Apple School Manager, protect your devices with Apple Care for Schools, or help develop your team leveraging Apple's professional learning, CDW is your one-stop shop. Not only does CDW have access to all the products and services that you know and have relied on for years, but they can also provide services that Apple has not been able to in the past. Things like asset tagging, kitting, pre-enrollment staging, and custom deployment and management services. Well, in the past, these have been services that you've had to coordinate with a third party. And now you'll be able to deal with one partner for your full device lifecycle from procurement to reclamation. So at this time, I'd like to pass it over to Brett Hardy to hear more about how CDW leverages their full stack solution mindset to support our education customers. Brett, over to you.
Thanks for that, Brendan. I should almost have you cover my section. And by the way, fantastic French language skills. Just for simplicity today, I don't want to burden anybody. I'm going to keep to English because that's where my strength is. Thank you for the opportunity today, everybody, just to share some of my passion around what we do beyond the product. And if we look at, the next slide, a lot of customers ask me, tell me the story about your capabilities. Tell me what you can do for us beyond giving us the great products. And if I really had to give you one pictorial, this is it. This is our infinite loop lifecycle. And in the past, we typically talk to it from a very circular motion, and a lot of our competitors do that, and it worked quite well. But as we've gone through this authorization with Apple, we really had to think about how do we up our game and really highlight the expertise that we've developed and typically don't do a very good job with showcasing. And again, as we went through the selective process, which I was very much a part of, it was about enhancing the capabilities beyond product, which is around engineering and the intended outcome. And how do we make these products work the way that they were designed and the customer gets the full value and use case out of them? And I'm not going to go through every single piece on this slide. You can see that for yourself. But the core here is that we are here to support you all the way through from planning what is the right product for you, all the way through to do you need warehousing services? Do you need to store them temporarily? Is there a timing around your refresh project? Do you need help with selection with defining personas? And this is again where we have not only, I would say, strong product management skills, but really around use cases, how to understand how to use the products properly. And then when we bring in our skills around our services, which is anywhere from configuration. Yes, we have our own configuration services capabilities now in Canada. We also have our own warehousing capabilities. And as Brendan had mentioned earlier, with our asset tagging services, our kitting services, our goal is to really focus on the employee or student experience and ensuring that they have a great experience when they unbox their products and they have everything they need to ensuring they're fully operational within minutes. And we'll get to that minutes part in a few seconds. How ironic, minutes and seconds. And when we take that a step further is when we look at our support capabilities. So what we've also enhanced are our remote and support capabilities. So if you have challenges with supporting Apple products with your environment, if your service desk does not have the skills or the capabilities, again, we have capabilities in that region that we've developed to really ensuring if end users are struggling or they have additional needs, we can help them either on-site or remote. And when we focus from the operational side, which I just covered with a few key points, on the left is really where we start to differentiate ourselves, which is really what we consider innovation. When we look at the refresh cycle of the products that Apple releases, and it's a slew of new products that come out every single year, not only on the hardware side, but also on the software side. And what makes the Apple ecosystem so unique is that the hardware fully integrates with the software layer. And that's where we see an opportunity for us to work with our clients to fully understand as new features are being released, as new OSs are being released across the entire product line, how do we help our clients maximize those new features and implement them securely and effectively? And I want to highlight one point on here, which is really around readiness and OCM. OCM standing for Organizational Change Management. It's really key as these new features are being released to the market that we can highlight how do they impact the organization, but also how do they impact the use case of the users every single day when they use the products they love and are most productive with. So again, happy to spend some one-on-one time with you to cover more details on this. When we look to the next slide, it's really around what are the capabilities that really brings the full gamut that we just talked about, but lay them out from a journey perspective. We've talked about a few key points around our configuration services. So again, we have our smart lab and warehousing facility. We today have capabilities on that, but we're enhancing that to the next level. So in the next quarter, we're actually launching our in-house configurations lab with warehousing. So that means as you work with CDW, we control the entire ecosystem. And that then ensures that your products are securely enrolled into ABM. What is ABM? It's Apple Business Manager. That allows you with your MDM of choice. MDM standing for Mobile Device Management. We'll cover that in a few minutes. So as we bring the magic together, your device, once the end user authenticates, the device will ideally set itself up as long as it has a reliable internet connection. Now, beyond that, we will include unboxing instructions, asset tagging based on your design. If you already have a design that you've developed for your corporate look, again, we're pretty flexible. We can work with you to maintain the same look and feel. If this is something new to your organization, we can work with you and help you develop a new standard. And what's also really exciting that's coming with our new lab is device skinning. So think about personalizing your devices, but not only personalizing, but also protecting them so that the use case is prolonged. And as you have a refresh cycle anywhere from 3 to 5 years, your device at the end of the life cycle or throughout its life cycle looks fresh and new, but it is tailored and customized to your organizational needs and looks. And then as we go through the rest of the journey, it really covers around amazing unboxing. Once the device is in use, what are some of the smart telemetry and data points we can help you gather from those devices so that as we look to the next refresh cycle or further, I would say, define the personas, making sure that we have the right use cases associated to the right hardware build. Conversational AI, number 4, is a really interesting one. We talked about our capabilities to support end users and organizations remotely. That is typically done through the phone line, through email, or through virtual chat. But what's really becoming more front and center for us, and we even use internally within CDW globally, is our capabilities around agentic AI. So this is where we leverage agentic AI to helping users help themselves by not having to speak to a human or having to hunt for a phone number or for any types of company portals. And again, happy to talk to you there. And this solution fully integrates into the productivity platforms that you would choose. That could be Microsoft Teams, it could be WebEx Chat, Google Hangouts, or even Slack. And those are typically the most popular ones that we see across the board. But then again, there is a demographic that just simply prefers to have the human touch, wants to talk to a human. And again, we're making sure that we're sensitive to those needs and have full office servings around that. Digital vending is actually a really interesting one, working with a lot of clients where they may have needs where they want to be able to allow walk-ups and have end users pick accessories if they're defective and not wait for a ticket to be opened. So again, some very interesting things we're seeing there. And as I go through to the next slide, which is really around our MDM strategy. MDM again stands for Mobile Device Management. we do not want to be a jack of all trades. When we take on something, we want to be intentional and we want to be amazing and great at what we do. And this is where, for our phase one of our Apple partnership, we're really focused on two key platforms, one being Microsoft Intune to the left, and the other, which is extremely popular in the Apple world, which is Jamf. And so again, we've developed core expertise and brought in talent that allows us to have key expertise here. And we further highlight that with our recent award of being added to the Apple Consultant Network. So as you go to the Apple Consultant Network on Apple's website, CDW Canada is now officially listed as a partner, and we're quite proud of that achievement. And on the last slide that I will leave you with for today, it's really about meeting you along your journey and where you are. If you just want to flip the slide, please. Thank you. The services that we highlighted today for you are not one fits all. They're really customized and tailored to your needs, and they're also a la carte. Our goal is to meet you at the stage of the journey where you are most comfortable and where you believe you are. But again, what we want to highlight is we can support the entire journey end to end. And that starts really in 4 phases. As we look at assess and audit, it's really trying to understand where are you as a client today and where do you want to be? And as we look at design and architect, it's bringing best practice and things that we see within the industry, also working closely with our partners such as Apple, such as Jamf, or Microsoft, and really bringing the best of all these new features forward so that you have the latest and greatest with your environment, but they're tailored and suited to your needs. Delivery and implementation, again, we have a full suite of trained and certified architects, and we do this in partnership with Apple. Every engagement that we get engaged with, we typically ensure that there is a vetting process and a review process before that is presented to the client. And the ultimate goal is to work with you on an ongoing basis where we build ongoing roadmaps and help you manage your environment. So again, thank you for your time for today. Happy to connect one-on-one. I'm going to pass it on to the next speaker. Thank you.
Thanks, Brett. Hi, everybody. I'm Alex Brown, Senior Digital Integration Lead here at CDW. I've been working in education for 15 years across CDW's organization. In my current role, I lead our public sector practice for all things eProcurement, digital, e-commerce, data automation. I'm going to take us through today what that journey looks like so we can take the benefits that Brett talked about and rope them into your systems, processes, and workflows. So at CDW, next slide, please. We help through every stage of the journey of your procurement process journey. So if you have an ERP, which we'll go through in a minute here, we can help you assess, design, manage, deploy solutions to maximize your investment in your current workflows and programs. At an eProcurement level, we do full stack integration, punch out, PO, invoice, return documents, advanced ship notices, and can integrate into systems like ITSMs for ticketing, help desk, and figure out how to marry our systems and processes together. We do this across, on the next slide, over 200 different ERPs and marketplaces. Some of you may see a familiar name up here. Many organizations have an internal branding, maybe based on a school mascot. But if it can talk to a system externally, I can find a way with my team to connect our systems together and maximize these workflows. We can also help you on the next slide here with your shopping experience. So here's an example from a customer. We recently configured their Apple business to move through us. They use an ERP that punches out, and their shoppers land on a completely customizable experience where we're putting in front of them standards, recommended units, enabling them to do things like building their own units from our catalog, viewing order status, and really getting your policy in front of those end users so we can guide their experience and help you retain control and visibility over what they're procuring, how they're procuring it. If you don't have an eProcurement system, on the next few slides, we're going to walk through Ruby, which is our online logged in experience of CDW.ca. In Ruby, you can allow your users to manage orders, quotes. We can create user groups via single sign-on or bulk user creation to have users that can only make quotes, only view products, approve orders, maybe not see anyone else's orders but their own. We have a wide range of flexibility to help you stay in control and on top of these behaviors. We also offer a companion mobile app for those IT folks on the go who don't have time to be in front of a computer working on orders or approving workflows, all can be done on our mobile app today. On the back of all of that, within Ruby, on the next slide, we have Asset Hub, a new offering from CDW, well, not completely new, but very new from a functionality standpoint, that allows you total visibility and control over all your purchases of CDW. Currently, in the self-service model, we go all the way back to 2018. You can get into detailed reporting, things like PO number, serial number, tracking numbers. If you need to pull an invoice from an item you bought 5 years ago, you can do so on your own by searching any of those values here. You can also set up automated reports to send you payloads based on metrics that you might put in of needing all of our recent purchases from last week, a year ago, 2 years ago. And if you have a system that can integrate with those, on the next slide, I can talk through our asset management integrations. So ServiceNow, Team Dynamics, Asset Panda. If you have a system that can ingest externally, I can feed data into it. So the second that MacBook Pro ships from CDW, I know 70 things about that transaction that I can feed into your backend system. Often those backend IT asset systems don't play nice with your ERP. If you're struggling to connect those systems together, if you can pass me information on a payload of an order, I can refract that information back into your asset system. So a common workflow example would be passing an employee ID with a computer purchase. I can pass that employee ID as part of that asset payload. So your asset system knows the second it ships from CDW who it's destined for, serial number, tracking number, cost center codes, other custom fields, model number, warranty terms. All that information can be passed. And with our config center services coming online, we can also pass MAC address, asset tags, any custom work that you may need done. And next, I'll pass it on to Trish to talk through contracts and pricing.
Thanks so much. Welcome. I just wanted to take a quick minute to let everyone know some of the details around the ISI contracts that are in place. We have 2 opportunities with CDW that have gone through procurement stages already on behalf of all of the institutions in Atlantic Canada. The first being kind of the easy one. It's endpoint devices. It's those Apple products. It's those devices in your hands. And that was finalized very early this year. And all those related information, products, listing, pricing, who you talk to can all be found on ISI's Bonfire site. If you don't have access to that, please reach out to your procurement department. They can help connect you with us so that we can get you access to that, as well as our IT consulting services. That is an opportunity not for staff augmentation, rather for consulting support in areas like analysts, architects, project managers, cybersecurity specialists, AI specialists, cloud, infrastructure network, all of those kinds of IT gobblies that us procurement folks don't lend a lot of support in, but we can make sure that you're aligned with the appropriate people who can help you in that. And anything that you need to know with respect to that, the first step is your in-house procurement department, and they can connect you with somebody at ISI who can help you walk through the process. Over to Melissa.
Thank you everyone for attending our webinar today. We hope this was beneficial and that you learned a little bit more about CDW and how we can assist you in your digital workspace experience. Please let me know if there's any other questions or if there's any quotes or you want any better understanding of anything we talked about today. Was there something here in the chat? Perfect. If there's nothing else, then thanks everyone for joining and look forward to working with you all later.
There's a question there. Actually, I think Teresa's pushing them into the chat.
Oh, sorry, I missed
that's okay.
those.
That's all right.
Okay.
All good. All good.
There we go. Okay, so Teresa asked, how do we reach out to the team from the webinar or our usual CDW rep? So yes, you always reach out to either Mike or myself for any questions. We can direct you from there to any of the resources that you may want to connect to. And then also on the Apple pricing compared to Apple education pricing. So on the ISI contract, there is additional discounting over and above Apple education pricing. So you are getting an additional level of discounting on all Apple products ordered through CDW. Perfect.
If there's any other questions, feel free to come off mute. We're happy to address them now. If not, as Melissa mentioned, you can reach out to Melissa, Mike, or our CW education at cw.ca email there. Just another resounding thank you to everyone so much for joining us today. And we'll be sure to send the recording post-call. Okay. All right. Thanks so much. Doesn't look like there's any other questions. So we'll close. Thank you, Charles. Thanks for attending. And we will send everyone the post webinar information and recording. Thanks very much for joining. Have a great rest of the day, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.